On the same note, try solving 19th. But see, in 19th, you exactly can't do something that we have done now in previous two questions. But this information will be used while you are solving the statement for sure in question number 19. But how do you use it? That depends. So please take 2 minutes of. So what you are doing about in this question?
I don't know actually. Like I'm trying to.
So simply, if let's say if you have to simply try by taking some sort of number, please try. Simply first give a trial from your end for sure. Abhi. Now I don't expect you to solve in the way like you just simple. If this question comes front of you, where it is given that MV is less than PV is less than zero, the question is asking you V greater than zero. So one statement is so very easily solvable. So see here, it says question is V greater than zero, right? Correct. Now
Yes.
see a bit here. What is MV is less than zero or not? MV is less than zero, right?
Yes.
And M is,
Less than zero.
and V has to be greater than zero. So option number B is this is sufficient for sure. Clear.
Clear.
Now think about the statement number one. Please take your time of it. Think. So see a bit. This is says if MV is less than PV. Is less than zero. The question is asking you is V greater than zero, right? Option number one says M is less than P. Option number two says what? M is less than zero. So this is sufficient, right?
Yes.
Because MV is less than zero, and if M is negative, V has to be positive. Simple, right?
Yes.
Let's say in question number one, Abid, if you do not understand at all how to proceed, then what can you exactly do? Can you take some numbers and check? So let's say it says M is less than P. I can take M and P to be a positive number and V negative number. I can take M and P to be negative number, V positive number, right? So let me take, let's say M is equal to 5. P is equal to, let's say 10. And V is equal to, let's say, negative 1. Clear? Now I can take this number, right? And this equation should satisfy. That is 5 into negative 1 less than 10 into negative 1 less than 0. That is minus 5 less than minus 10 less than 0. Is this valid in math?
Yes.
No. How can minus 5 be less than minus 10?
Oh, sorry.
No, right? Impossible condition. Invalid, I write. Impossible condition, right?
Okay.
So if I take a bit here, let's say M is equal to minus 10, P is equal to minus 5, and V is equal to positive number. The whole point is that I have to take, because MV and PV, these are same here. So I have to take sign of M and P same, V same, right? So if I take minus 10, minus 5, minus 1 and put it over here now, check. So it is minus 10 into 1 less than minus 5 into 1 less than 0. That is nothing but minus 10 less than minus 5 less than 0. Perfect, right? This is matching to this condition. MV less than PV less than 0, right? And V is what? Positive here. So sufficient. Correct? Because this condition is not possible at all. So I will not consider this condition at all. I can't take M positive and P positive and V negative, because I'll get an impossible condition. I will have to take M negative, P negative and V positive, right?
Okay.
So you get V positive. Sufficient. I've proved that V is positive. The question is asking same thing. Is V greater than 0? So I have taken two conditions. Once I have taken V negative, this condition did not satisfy at all. I have taken V positive, this condition satisfied my question, and V is less than PV is less than 0. Right?
Right.
Or else a bit. Now this is something that you will do naturally. But how do you use the information? See here. Now what I've told you, if the question is if MV is less than PV is less than 0, the question is V greater than 0, right? The first option is with M is less than P, The second option is simple, m is less than 0. This is for sure sufficient. Now Abed, see, I need to use this information for sure, right? So how do I use smartly solve to solve this problem in 20 seconds? Can I say here that magnitude of MV is less than PV for sure, but magnitude of MV is 100% greater than PV, right? Means, can I say this is, if this is minus 10, this has to be below minus 10, that is minus 9, right?
Okay.
Correct?
Yes.
Can I say this with minus 10? If 9 comes this side, it will become plus 9. It should be less than 0, right? Right? So on the same logic, can I write here, Abid, MV minus PV has to be less than 0 for sure.
Right.
Can I say V into M minus P has to be less than for sure? Now this is the information that is given to me in the question, right? Option number 1 says me what? M minus P is less than 0, right?
Yes.
Now with if M minus P is less than 0, V has to be greater than 0. Sufficient.
Wow.
So this is the beauty of you using information. So whenever you solve math problem a bit, whenever you're trying and solving it in home also, you should always, it never matters ki how many problem are you solving, that absolutely does not matter. You solve 10 questions, but solve it very properly and give time initially. Initially, you don't have to time anything. Initially, all you should ensure that conceptually you are clear with everything. Once you are conceptually clear, you feel that no, now I'm in position to do problem, even if I take time, and then you should start timing off. So when it has to be timed out, I'll tell you for sure. So till then, please take your time to solve a problem. Even if you take for one problem 1 hour, it is absolutely acceptable. But do understand, when you solve a problem, you solve it by your own conservative method, absolutely acceptable. But do also think how it can be more modified or simplified. So, and it is no rocket science at all. It will happen one day. You are able to solve a problem very easily.
And Rahul,
Yeah.
yeah, and the objective, like, how do I get to this level? Is it by solving as many questions
By
as
solving
possible?
as many questions, but solving in quality wise. You are not supposed to solve 100 questions just for the sake of just for the sake of solving 100 questions.
Yeah.
It's much better you take your time. The whole point is you will be able to do math properly a bit, in the sense that you will be able to solve fast after 2 months, when, if at all you are doing all the problem by yourself without looking into the solution. If you look into the, and you don't have to get frustrated at all. There are problems which will frustrate you, which you will not be able to do it, but do not look into the solution till you have half an hour. Generally try to solve that problem by yourself. You solve it wrong, no issues at all. Whatever you want to do, but please Abed, ensure that like, let's say this questions we are discussing here. Now you discuss this question, see whatever concept you can clear from here. But after this, when I give you some unseen problem to solve, then all I want that you will solve unseen problem when you are conceptually clear with each and every question of this handout. Else, if you go and try unseen problem, you are just wasting the problem. And GMAT problems are very limited, so please never waste the problem. Okay.
Got it.
So now try solving question number 21 a bit. So all I wanted to show you in question number 27 and 19, that sometimes there are a good information given to you in the question. How should you use those information while you are solving the statement? Because please understand, information is not given in the question to beautify the question. It has to be used at any cost. So you will have to use that a bit. Your brain should automatically function in such a way that how do you use this particular information while you are solving the statement. So question should be read very properly. See, that's a direct question or some information is given to you. If it is given, please use it. If it is that, now let's say question number, I say you ask you to solve question number 21. It's a direct question to you. The information given is that n is a non-zero integer. It means that n is not equal to 0 and n is an integer. And the question is x to the power n less than 1. Try solving 21 number. It's a